Season 3 of Street Fighter 6 was just announced, and Capcom came in swinging hot with the roster of characters. We've got Alex, Sagat, C. Viper, and Ingrid. Yeah, Ingrid. Capcom's controversial magical girl. I'll be real, this was an unexpected pick, but a welcome one. Street Fighter 6 was responsible for bringing a ton of new people into fighting games, which includes people who know absolutely nothing about Ingrid. So, that begs the question, who is Ingrid, and where did she come from? In 2004, Capcom released a new fighting game to the arcades. This game was a crossover between all of their franchises, and it was none other than Capcom Fighting Jam, baby, the greatest fighting game ever made. Just look at how poorly thrown together it is. Besides all the crossed over characters from different Capcom games, Ingrid makes her first appearance in this game as the only original character. She was supposed to appear in Capcom Fighting All-Stars alongside two other original characters, but that game was cancelled and this one was shoveled out. In Fighting Evolution, Ingrid is introduced as God, but she's still just a girl. She was supposed to be one of 3 code holders who were assigned to disarm a bomb. Despite being a goddess and overall wearing pretty modest clothing, Ingrid has 2 sides to her. She can be wise or a goofball. She doesn't take fighting seriously if it isn't against a threat, so in her win quotes, she says that her foes' hits were ticklish, or she thought the fight was boring. She even likes tickling people for no reason. I think I should call the police. When Ingrid does get serious, she's easily one of Capcom's strongest and wisest characters. She sealed away Pyron after defeating him at the end of her Fighting Evolution arcade mode, and then she won home. Given her status, her arcade mode ending confuses me. With her lore out of the way, Ingrid has a pretty interesting toolkit. She has a DP, a fireball, and some kind of air tatsu, which means that she has some shuttle capabilities, but it goes farther than that. Her fireball is pretty unique compared to the standard. Depending on which punch button you hit, the fireball will change its height along with the distance. Her so-called tatsu I mentioned only works in the air, but it changes depending on the kick button you use. Ingrid has a unique parry mechanic that counters any physical attack. To high parry, you have to do a quarter back motion plus punch, and for a low parry, quarter back and kick. Her parry gets beat by fireballs and throws. Personally, Ingrid's parry is not my favorite. Third strike parry will always be the GOAT. Now, if you want to play some honest footsies, Ingrid has some pretty good pokes. Her forward medium kick and low medium kick are forward moving pokes. These pokes are definitely getting demolished by drive impact. Her crouching medium punch is a stationary poke, but it has good range, just like Alex's crouching medium punch. Ingrid also has this auto combo that's kind of like Cammy's spin knuckle, except it ends in her DP. Moving on to her supers, Ingrid has a 3-level bar system, and each of her supers work differently. Her level 1 is a floating ball that travels towards the opponent and it explodes once it reaches contact. In her level 2, she becomes a Beyblade and does multiple ballerina spins. Lastly, her level 3 is some kind of parry super, but it works differently from her normal parry. Another neat thing about Ingrid is her 2 different throws. For one of her throws, you have to hit forward while also hitting light punch and light kick. She has her regular light punch and light kick throw, and wait, what is she doing? After Fighting Evolution came out, the game flopped hard. You'd think that Capcom would have completely ditched any trace of this game, but they decided not to leave Ingrid to rot. Since her debut, she's made numerous more appearances, one of which being Alpha 3 Max. Ingrid gets some more depth in this game thanks to the ISM system. She also gets some story to make her part of the Street Fighter universe, but at this point in time, she's not canon. This was a controversial decision at the time. From my research, the general consensus is that Ingrid is an overpowered goddess with a boring design. She's also said to be a ripoff of SNK's Athena. Adding a goddess like Ingrid to the Street Fighter universe automatically makes her overpowered compared to everyone else in the series. This point is focused on during her arcade mode in Alpha 3 Max, where Ryu, Rose, and M. Bison are used to help gauge just how strong Ingrid is. First, she runs into evil Ryu, who she cures after beating him in a 1v1. After the fight, she reveals that she knows Ryu's name without Ryu telling Ingrid himself. She then meets Rose, who can't see Ingrid's past or future, and she comments that she can only see white. Ingrid tells Rose that she wants to seal M. Bison's psycho power because it belongs to her. She also knows Rose's name without Rose telling her. Lastly, the biggest example is Ingrid's fight with Bison. Ingrid stated that it would take her no more than 15 minutes to beat him, and she made Bison lose his cool. Bison comments that Ingrid is connected to the Psycho Drive due to the emblem on her head, which means that Bison knew how powerful Ingrid could be. After Ingrid wins, M. Bison tries to kill her back at his lair by absorbing more psycho energy, but it's too much for his body to handle and he gets blown up. Ingrid's story in Alpha 3 Max ends with her time traveling to battle Ryu in the future. Dude, seriously, this girl is playing chess while every other Street Fighter character is playing checkers. However, Ingrid being the origin of Psycho Power is actually a mistranslation. Takayuki Nakayama also confirmed that her power is in no relation to Psycho Power. This means that Ingrid isn't actually a goddess, but Capcom decided to roll with the mistranslated backstory as part of her character. For the sake of the video, I'll keep referring to Ingrid as a goddess, but keep in mind that she's really just a magical girl cold holder. Fortunately, Alpha 3 Max isn't the last time we see Ingrid. Enter Project Zone. If you don't know what this is, here's a quick summary. The Project Zone games are tactical role-playing games, and they double as a three-way crossover between Capcom, Sega, and Bandai. Ingrid wasn't in the first game, but she is in Project Zone 2. She's a solo unit in this game, and also the only new Street Fighter character for it. Her moveset is based off of the moves she already had in the previous mentioned games, but they're fitted to this game's tactical RPG system. Ingrid's shtick is the same god stuff as before. She even makes remarks to other characters that reveals that she knows about them and their worlds. This game also fleshes Ingrid out a bit more. First, she has an interest in fads and fashion, and secondly, she activates her Unk status and starts calling people young. Another little thing that she does in this game is question some logic, like when she asks Akira and Kage why they yell out their attacks as they fight. And so, Project Zone 2 marks Ingrid's last playable appearance. Definitely not the most traditional send-off to her, but it's something. Besides the 3 games mentioned, Ingrid makes appearances in other games and media, but they're brief cameos. She appears in the comic prologue of Street Fighter Cross Tekken, where she sends the Pandora to Earth. She also makes appearances in Onimusha Soul, Mina the Capcom All-Stars, SNK vs Capcom Card Fighters, and some cameos in Street Fighter V. She was also included in some art books, but most interestingly to me, she was a cut character in Marvel vs Capcom 3 and Tatsunoko vs Capcom. We don't see a lot of Ingrid anymore, but with Street Fighter 6, we're in an era of new beginnings. With Capcom bringing back Ingrid for Season 3, I hope she'll get another chance in the spotlight. With that said, I have been Mystic Ramen, and until next time, keep on grinding.